last week's video, you saw my buddy and I cross 3 state lines to go and pick up my late brother's 1967 Firebird. Needless to say, when we arrived, it wasn't what we were thinking we would have to deal with here, with 4 tires that were completely dry rotted and would not hold air, plus a steering box that would not allow the wheels to turn. Luckily enough, with a couple of guys and a lot of beer drinking, we were able to get this Firebird up on the rented U-Haul trailer to make our way back to Arizona. Just cruising along, doing great. About 100 miles from home is when stuff started to happen, but it was actually a blessing in disguise. We had a blowout on the trailer, and then the trailer tire caught fire, so we had cops and DPS show up. But the cool part is, the tow truck guy was able to deliver the Firebird and park it right in our garage without us having to do anything else. Blessing in disguise. Let's get to this week's episode. Alright guys, today's the day we start getting into the interior and the trunk area of this Firebird and just see what is in store for us. Again, it's been sitting out uncovered for 20 some years in the Midwest, and the elements have definitely taken its toll on the vehicle, and there's looks like at one time there may have been some critters that wanted to live in there, so we're just going to go through, see what parts are laying in the trunk and in the inside of the car, pull the seats out. The interior, actually, the black vinyl seats, both the front and the back, actually appear to be in decent shape for the situation. So I'm looking forward to cleaning those seats up and seeing how they look when it's all said and done. So we'll kind of go through this kind of real fast here, getting everything cleared out, making a trash run a little bit later from, we pulled the carpet out, that was completely trashed. So I pulled both back and front carpet sets out to expose the floor. And here's kind of an inside view of just what we found. And I'm assuming that is part of the dash pad. That's an unusual part for me. I'll have to do some research on that. The seats were not bolted down, so they simply just lifted right up and out of the car. That was kind of a good thing, but at the same time, I need to find out if there's a rail that attaches to the bottom of the seat and then attaches to the floorboard. So I need to do some research on Firebird seats for this generation. Other than that, though, glove box was open. Didn't find anything in the glove box worth noting. Found a rag. Lots of just crazy stuff. I think that was just kind of thrown in there as time went on over the last 25 years. What have it. Let me pull the seat out real quick here for us. Kind of see what I'm talking about. It just pulled it and grabbed it, and this seat here probably had about 3/4 of an inch worth of dirt and debris built up in between the seat bottom and the seat back. That was, wow, incredible. So again, some fast footage of just cleaning stuff out, pulling out the back seat area here in a minute, getting everything squared away. Of course, the shop dog Sierra had to help Dad as much as possible. Definitely curious as to what this thing is in her garage instead of her mama's big red truck. So in this box, I found a bunch of rubber parts. Gaskets, looks like receipts, birds, awesome, 400, yeah, this makes me want to find a 400 block now. That is awesome. Don't think I need that anymore. General parts. Got one. More than one. What? Check that out. My brother's name is on there. dated 1995. 1995. Look at that. And can't tell what he bought. 67 dash bezel. And in that day it was $25. So I guess later on we can kind of go through these receipts and things. And here I just want to kind of go through those carpets one more time before I trashed them to make sure I didn't forget anything or left anything behind, any screws or anything like that. And then all of that just right off to the dump as soon as I was done. All right, so here's our floor. I got glass still to clean up, but I don't know, I have to really get in there and get some more stuff out. And then our next issue is going to be, oh, what is that? If you look down here, it's a small pedal, so that tells me it must have been originally a manual, but apparently it isn't automatic in there now. So I'm going to have to get underneath there and see what I can figure out, what kind of transmission is in this girl, and kind of go from there. So let's see if I can't get that back seat out now. Well, next part is to clean up all this glass and vacuum up what I can to get as much cleaned up as we can. Kind of assess how our floorboards look. And glove box, nothing much in the glove box. Felt lined glove box. Not sure if that's factory or not, but that's kind of a cool touch. Something not even Porsche did. And there's our AC vent and AC controls. And of course that steering wheel will be going, so if you're interested in a GT, whatever steering wheel that is, let me know, I can hook you up. And of course, here's our Swiss cheese roof that's going to have to be replaced. I'm still debating replace the skin and make it a convertible. I don't know yet, guys. I'm still up in arms about that. There's a lot to be desired. Oh, we still have stuff in the back deck lid there, so we'll grab that stuff out real quick too. I know there's a pandemic going on right now, but this isn't for the pandemic. It's for cleaning out the interior of the Firebird. All the whatever's in there, I don't want it to get to me. So a little bit of safety gloves, and we'll get back in there and I'll show you how gross that stuff is. So getting in here, just using a brush, I kind of wiped or brushed up what I could of the glass and the big chunks of dirt and junk that I did find and what was left over from whatever was living in here at the time. And I just came in, sucked up all the broken glass. The driver's side window was shot out at some point, and the passenger vent window was shot out. So it looked like someone shot the vent window and the bullet went through that little window and then hit the driver's side window, shattering it. So I'll have to buy some new glass for that. But after vacuuming everything up and taking a look, the floors have very little rust in it. So he said stick it in. He says you'll feel it engage. Yep. And then turn it.
Ta-da!
What's in there? I can't lie, when the wife and I popped the trunk, we were expecting like Jimmy Hoffa's body or something in there, but we did not. There were a lot of good goodies in there. We found the sun visors, which seemed to be a tan color. We found some window cranks. Looks like that variant, the bumper extension on there was in there. Quite a few things, little knickknacks, more window cranks. Looks like the wiper motor was in there. So I just went ahead and set up the GoPro and just kind of clean this trunk out. Again, my goal was to see how much rust was in the bottom of this trunk once everything had pulled out. It did seem like there was a fire at one time. The cardboard box there was a little charred, and some of the taillight connectors that were laying in the trunk were also a little bit charred, so I have to replace those as well. But once everything was cleaned out, there's some surface rust, but no rust holes, no rust that's not bad. Well, this is the cleaned up seats. Again, not perfect, but not too shabby. Obviously, they'll have to be replaced, I'm sure. Have to have some stuff re-chromed. But for the most part, all I could find was just some surface rust that we can wire wheel out and then cut over some Por 15. That's what I use for my Porsche, and I really enjoyed it. So just some surface rust, not no major holes or anything else. So I guess for now, we know we have the inside cleaned up and we have the trunk area cleaned up, and we can move on to working on that motor. That'll be our next episode, where we finally will see if we can't get this bad girl up and running with this motor. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching.